Mm. Oh, how's it going, comic book fans? Welcome back to Comic Drops. I'm just sitting here eating the best type of ice cream, strawberry. I mean, you guys didn't even come close to getting the correct answer on this one. Now, what if I told you that behind every perfectly scooped cone of ice cream, there might be something more sinister? That the guy driving the truck through your neighborhood, the one with the perfect smile and the sparkling white uniform, might not just be serving dessert, but suffering and maybe even death. Welcome to Ice Cream Man number 1, Raspberry Surprise. And believe me, the surprise isn't raspberry. This is the comic that dares ask, what if your childhood nostalgia was lying to you? What if the quiet suburbs weren't so safe? And what if your neighbor's kid had a pet spider with a higher body count than most serial killers? This story is weird. It's dark, and it's funny in the most uncomfortable way. And somehow, despite the spiders, the skinned cats, and a demonic ice cream man, it all works. Ice Cream Man number 1 sets the tone for a series that delights in turning the ordinary into the horrific, one scoop at a time. Now let's take a look at Ice Cream Man number 1. Yep, that's still the best. Ice Cream Man is a horror anthology series written by W. Maxwell Prince, with art by Martín Morazzo and published by Image Comics. From the very first issue, it becomes clear that this is not your average comic book. Instead, it's a surreal and sinister ride through suburban darkness, cleverly disguised as a story about a cheerful ice cream man. But don't let the sprinkles fool you. This one gets weird, and it gets weird fast. The story begins at sunset in a quiet, picturesque suburban neighborhood. Everything seems peaceful, almost too peaceful. Then enter Rick, a classic 1950 style ice cream man, complete with a paper hat, white uniform, and an over the top chipper personality. He's chatting with a mother and her daughter like he's known them for years. And looky here, is that little Miss Peterson I see? Golly, you're getting big, Rick says with exaggerated sweetness. The mom smiles and asks her daughter what flavor she wants. Without hesitation, the girl shouts, "Vanilla." Rick hands her the cone with a cheerful, "In a jiffy," and the little girl chirps back, "Thank you, Ice Cream Man." This whole scene feels like we're watching a vintage good humor commercial until things take a turn. Rick then glances down and notices a red haired boy standing nearby with an odd, inviting smirk. "Say, where are your mom and dad, kid?" he asks, scanning the area in a way that's just a bit too cautious, like he's checking to see if anyone's watching. The kid replies confidently, "I'm a big boy." And Rick raises an eyebrow and responds, "A man of self possession. I can certainly appreciate that." Now that's a strange way to talk to a child, no doubt. Then he asks, "What'll it be, Mr. Big and Tall?" And the kid asks for chocolate, 2 scoops. And Rick obliges with a grin, lickety split, fast as fast can be. "You get home safe, all right." So far, the comic sets up what seems like a charming, if slightly off kilter slice of small town life. But then, as the boy walks home happily singing and licking his ice cream, the tone shifts completely. And then we're greeted with some unsettling narration in an emotionless serif font. It's a clinical monologue about the Brazilian wandering spider. It's one of the most dangerous, deadly spiders recognized by the World Spider Catalog. The genus name, Phonutria, is from the Greek meaning murderous. In fact, in 2010, the Guinness Book of World Records granted this charming arachnid an official true blue title, World's Most Venomous Spider. Most venomous? Ain't that something? It's jarring, educational, but oddly conversational. The narration continues as the boy enters his home. This awesome distinction can be credited to a concentrated neurotoxin that the spider releases upon biting, which in high doses induces all manner of unpleasantness, including but not limited to loss of muscle control, strange contortions, painful inflammation, crippling instant paralysis, and in some cases, priapism. Really? Just go to the next narration box. Hi, Rupert, I'm home, the boy says, and out crawls a large spider, from a globe no less, onto his hand. With no fear, no hesitation, he places it on his shoulder like a pet. The kid yells out to his parents that he's hungry for dinner, but then adds, "They've been so quiet lately, Roop. It's like they live in the kitchen." He strolls into the kitchen and the horror is finally revealed. His parents are dead, seated at the dinner table, grotesquely decomposed, their bodies twisted in painful spider induced rigor mortis. Most venomous, ain't that something? The narration echoes again. Yep, his pet spider Rupert killed them. And it seems like this kid has been living with the rotting bodies ever since. Now, this certainly confirms what my initial thoughts were on this comic, showing us the underbelly of suburbia. We're first given what looks like the ideal life down to the ice cream man, smiling suburban neighborhood, a kid walking home happily with his ice cream cone. These are all familiar, comfortable images. But in this story, they're weaponized. The mundane becomes a mask for the macabre. The horror is not just in the shocking reveals, it's in how close it all is to normalcy. We then shift scenes to the other side of town, where we meet two detectives. Jolly-O Han, nicknamed 5V, because her name contains all 5 vowels in the English language, and her partner. We're told that 5V's name means most beautiful willow in Chinese, and the narration offers a bit of dry insight into her life. For the sake of expedience, let's say this. Like most people in their 30s, she's got a job for which she can only summon a minimum amount of passion and interest. But she does it, day in and day out. I feel like we can all relate to that. As the detectives meet with a frantic woman, we get a dose of absurd comedy. "Are you listening to me? You people need to do something," she cries as she pulls the skeleton of her dead cat out of her purse. Ugh. A sketch artist then holds up a picture that looks like a werewolf. "That's him. That's the thingamacritter from the woods. He ate Mr. Buttersworth," she yells and then adds, "He sucked the skin right off him." Now, I don't know how the logistics of sucking the skin off a cat works, but hey, it happened right there. The sketch artist then leans in and said, "Who gives their pet a different last name?" The comic knows exactly what it's doing here, blending terror and absurdity with a wicked grin. Soon after, 5V and her partner are summoned by the captain, who hands them a new case. Tom and Henrietta McAllister, both MIA for about 10 days, no PTO filed, and now completely off the grid. Oh, and the cherry on the sundae, they've got a kid. We've seen this kid before. It's the same boy we saw earlier. Well, we already know what happened to the parents. We then cut to the woods with the boy happily exploring them. He hears a growl, peers around a tree, and finds Rick the ice cream man, torn clothes and all, leaning against another tree. "Oof, that was unpleasant," Rick mutters. The boy then recognizes him, and Rick smiles, asking, "Say, what you got there?" pointing at the stick in the boy's hand. "Want to see something neat?" He snaps his fingers, and the stick turns into 2 scoops of chocolate ice cream that we saw the boy order earlier. Magic, or something worse. See, this ice cream man is someone or something that's sinister to his core. This is creepy for sure. Rick then leans down. "You know, kid, you shouldn't be walking around these woods on your own. It isn't safe. Time to be getting home to your parents, don't you think?" The boy looks down at his ice cream cone and solemnly says, "Crud." Yeah, we know what's waiting for him at home. Meanwhile, 5V and her partner are en route to the McAllister's house, and the narration gets even creepier. Here's a secret about life, which I'll tell you for free. We're all being devoured by bugs. Slowly but surely, our little internal insects, boredom, loneliness, regret, etc., are eating us whole. Then Briggs randomly says, "I've got cockroaches crawling all over my brain, and they're telling me to cheat on my wife." 5V turns to him confused. "What?" But Briggs denies saying anything like that. And there's the running theme of inner decay. Whether it's the physical decay of the McAllisters or the mental disintegration hinted at in 5V, the narration about bugs devouring us from the inside is metaphorical but very relatable. Depression, loneliness, guilt, boredom, these are framed as internal parasites, eating away at all of us. Just like Rupert the Spider seems to be an external parasite taking physical life away from his victims. They arrive to find the McAllister home unlocked and in chaos. The place is completely trashed. The TV flickers on, and it plays a commercial with Rick. Who is this guy? "So find my truck and get yourself a treat. Something sweet for everyone. Something sweet for the bugs to eat." Is this TV really on, or are they both losing it? In the kitchen, they find the parents' bodies still sitting at the table. The smell. "How long have they been like this?" 5V asks, leaning in. Then Briggs flinches. Something's on his neck. It's a spider. The fa. He collapses, foaming at the mouth. The boy enters, eerily calm. It's not Rupert's fault. He just doesn't like adults. 5V in shock pleads with the boy. "Kid, I don't know what's going on here, but we need to get my friend some help." The boy shrugs. "My parents got sick too. Then they got all stiffed up and missed Macaroni Tuesday." Now, I think Byron represents a darker theme of what happens when a child is completely isolated for extended periods of time. His parents are dead at the kitchen table, rotting, and he's just living with it, mirroring the neglect some children experience with parents that are still very much alive. Talking to his spider like it's his friend, making his own snacks, lamenting that he missed Macaroni Tuesday. There's a terrifying emotional numbness here that might suggest neglect even before the deaths. But the real horror? How long it took for anyone to even notice. 5V tells the boy to put the spider down, but he bolts. "You're not taking him." And he runs into the woods with 5V right behind. And then chaos yet again. In the trees, Rick appears, but now he's transformed. Part man, part werewolf. He lifts the boy in the air. 5V screams, and the creature throws the boy into her. They hit the ground. The werewolf steps forward, laughing at them. Yes, laughing. As he looms over them, Rupert, the spider, crawls up the creature's back and bites. Rick howls, rips the spider off, and then flees into the night. 5V, laying on the ground, looks at the boy. "What's your name?" she asks. "Byron," he says. And she replies, "Thank you, Byron." Oh, jeez. Later, police and paramedics swarm the McAllister home. One officer tells 5V he's been raising himself for almost 2 weeks. By the looks of it, diet of cookies and ice cream. Yum. We've got official cause of death for the parents and for Briggs down as arachnidism. She asks about the spider, though. Spider's still MIA. The issue then closes in twisted fashion. Chocolate, vanilla, strawberry, banana, cookies and cream, rocky road, caramel, raspberry, surprise. There's a flavor for everyone suffering. And make no mistake, everyone is suffering. We then see a couple arguing inside their home while the spider crawls past their window. It's at this point where I really feel like while this comic is otherworldly and dark in its subject matter, we certainly all are suffering in our own unique ways. This message is relatable on so many levels because to be human is to suffer. It's simply a fact of life. And then out of the shadows, Rick appears, looking normal again. He picks up Rupert the spider, snaps his fingers, and turns the spider into a vanilla ice cream cone. Fast as fast can be. He looks straight at us, the readers, breaks the fourth wall, and says lickety split. But this time, his face is transformed. Green glowing eyes, sharp teeth, and a demonic smile. In the final panel, Rick drives off into the sunset in his ice cream truck, as night truly falls onto the town. Now, I have a few theories about Rick the Ice Cream Man. He is certainly a walking parody of 1950s Americana. He's cheerful, polite, offers treats to kids. He's the personification of nostalgia. But here, that nostalgic image is corrupted and turned into something menacing. The comic is making a point about how things we romanticize from the past can hide deep, festering problems beneath the surface. But who is Rick the Ice Cream Man? From this issue, we can already see that he can shapeshift, manipulate reality, and even acknowledges us, the reader, as a part of his world. I'm guessing Rick is much more than we think. Some sort of supernatural or cosmic entity that revels in the suffering of others, or simply enjoys manipulating the unsuspecting. He isn't the cause of all this evil in the world, but he's definitely an instigator. He pushes things just far enough. He lets people destroy themselves. And then he sits back and smiles. So there you have it. Ice Cream Man issue number 1, Raspberry Surprise. A story that starts with sprinkles and smiles and ends with rot, regret, and a demonic ice cream man offering you a cone straight from the void. W. Maxwell Prince and Martín Morazzo are a creative team that are doing some truly innovative and thought-provoking things in the comics industry, and I can't wait to discuss more with you guys. Are you still craving something sweet, or are you checking your room for spiders right now? If you enjoyed this review, go ahead and give it a like. And if you're into comics that blur the line between horror and dark comedy, consider subscribing as well. I've got more Ice Cream Man content coming soon. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Oh man.